Hi everyone, this is Shelly over at Crafty Cottage Dreams. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you for visiting me today. Here I am going to showcase or do a flip through of my two small beautiful journals. They measure 6 inches by 4 inches. And I'm using Lydia's over at Raindrop Lila, her Parisian digitals, which you can locate in her Etsy shop, and I will post her links also down below in the description box. I am also using a lot of goodies and laces that were gifted to me by Sherry Alexander. Thank you, Sherry. I appreciate that so much. They're very beautiful, and I've been having fun organizing and enjoying using them in my journals. So, I also have other ephemera in there that is not through the Parisian collection. It was extra ephemera that I had laying in a box that they were used previous swaps, ephemera swaps, tag swaps that I've enlisted in a while back. And so they are from various ladies. Don't ask me who they're from because I cannot remember. It was such a long time ago. But I also wanted to use them up because they can't just be sitting in my ephemera box. So I wanted to also include them in these journals. So, but I do also have ephemera that I've created from Lydia's Parisian collection in here as well. So how about we just get started and do a flip through. I think they came out so beautiful. And I absolutely love things poking out of my journals. I love the layering. I love the texture. I love things poking out. I just think it creates a beautiful journal. And I think it's so pretty. So I just use some ribbon here for the closure. I have my polka dotted sari that I have here. I love it. And it's also, I have a T-pin. And I added this too. I just loved the pop of the greenery and the leaves in here. And this is from Sherry, this vintage lace. Also these as well. And I love the rosebud trim that she sent me. It's just so pretty. So let's open it up. And this in here, it's just various pages of, I do have a book that it's a French antique book, and I'm going to grab it real quick, so I'll be right back. Sorry guys, I wanted to grab it because I really wanted to show you that it's a beautiful French book, and I love it, and I've taken out pages from this book to include in my journal. I think it's so pretty. As you can see, I have some torn out here, but I just thought it was pretty, and I wanted to show you guys. Isn't that a beautiful cover? So anyway, so we have Lydia's beautiful digital here in the front. Just have lots of layering. And where was I going with that? Oh gosh. Yeah, so I have vintage book pages. I have Bible book pages, vintage book pages in here, along with the French book pages and ledgers. So this is one of the ephemera that I received when I did a swap at one time, and I wanted to include it in here. So I just added some Jesus, I can't speak today. Oh gosh. Sample stamp here. And that is that French book page. And we have some beautiful trim here. This is all from Sheila. It's so beautiful. But I just wanted to use that ephemera up, so I just thought it was so cute. And that's what it's for, right? To use in your journal. So I added that. We have some vintage ledger page here that you can certainly journal on. And that is the back side of that. And here I have a beautiful crocheted doily here, gifted to me with a little rosebud from Sherry. And then I just created some ephemera. It's a book page in the back. Here I just used sample stamp, Sweet Sentiments, and you can certainly write a quote here, journal on it, add a picture. And I created this tag, some lace and some rosebud trim, sample stamp, and I backed it with some ledger. And I make it so that things deliberately stick out of my journals and poking out. Again, I love that look. And then here is another piece of ephemera. It's made out of a book page. Like I said, I've had these in my stash, and I really wanted to use these up from various swaps. Certainly journal in the back. So why not include them and share? We have a book page here. Here's that French page. I just used some masking tape here and sample stamp. I love, love, love this trim. So pretty. And then I've created another tag here, sample stamp, using Lydia's Parisian digitals, backed it with some antique ledger, or vintage ledger, I should say. There is the center. I need to get some more twine. I am so low. I love the patina on these vintage book pages. We just have a little cluster of some vintage lace, some sari and a rosebud trim. And then here I had some scraps. I like to try to use up as much scraps as possible. So I just clipped on, and that's just a flip out and sample stamp. I love the distressed look that I added on these. I just simply clipped it in there. Some ledger. I love all the vintage trim that Sherry sent me. It's so pretty. I love vintage book pages. And then we have that doily with a rosebud trim, and again some a tag here, sample stamp, some lace, rosebud trim, and it is backed with some ledger. And gouache. So the pages, these pages are very fragile too. So, because they are old. But I've reinforced them to the best of my ability. And then we have another, you can certainly journal on, just tucked behind here. And then here on the back cover, again, this was part of an ephemera swap. So cute, and it has a little bookmark in there, which I included as well. And that is the first journal. It's so cute. I'm going to tie this quickly. And then we'll move on to the next one. Don't you just love everything poking out? I do. I just so love that look. And here's the second journal. And it's very, very similar, guys. I love this digital from the Parisian. Love it. And I just love the layering. Like, the cover doesn't fully go to the end. You just have lots of layering and texture. I love that. That beautiful vintage lace from Sherry. Rosebud trim with some sari and a T-pin. I have this beautiful lace with a rosebud on here. And I really hope I'm in focus. So I added this, my polka dotted trim too, and I added this greenery as well because, I don't know, I really loved it. So let's take a look on the inside. Just go through this quickly. Here again, we have that beautiful vintage lace and rosebud trim, same as with down here. I love how it peeks out of the journal. We have some vintage ledger. And here's a tag I created using the Lydia's Parisian collection. I love her. She's so pretty. Some lace and rosebud trim. Sample stamp. And I backed it with that vintage ledger. And I just folded it over the tag too in distressed. I love that. And then we have this beauty, An Everlasting Love, a sample stamp. You can certainly add a picture, a quote. I love these Bible book pages, and it's, let me grab that book too. It's from a small Bible book, and it is vintage. I'm sorry guys, I keep leaving you. I'm never prepared. I'm sorry, I wing it. But I love this small little book, and I forgot. I might have. It's from 1908. And obviously it was a purchase from, I forget. Who knows where I got it from, but I have it. And I just love the patina and the size of it. I just thought it's pretty. So anyway, there's that. And then we have a little doily gifted by Sherry, and a little rosebud trim. And again, we have another one of these. Paris, Sampool Stamp, A Timeless Love. And then another, I want to be very careful because again, ladies, these pages are fragile. Some vintage ledger. And then again, I use some vintage ledger to back it with. Added a sample stamp. Some lace and rosebud trim. And then here's another one of those ephemera from a swap. It's so cute. I should do that again. Anybody doing tag and ephemera swaps? I don't know. I just think that they're so fun. Not that I need any more. I really need to go through and add what I do have in my journals, but I think it would be fun. I love, love, love. Here's the center. And here, I love the patina on these book pages. I love this vintage trim that I just clustered. I love doing that with the rosebud trim. And again, I had some scraps left over, so I also included them in here, and I want to be very careful. So I just folded it in half and distressed. You could certainly add some coffee stain paper in here and make it into a little booklet of your own if you wanted to. So many possibilities. Sampool stamp. Some of that vintage lace with a rosebud trim. I really do hope I'm in focus. Some of that ledger. A little flip out. Again, we have that beautiful doily. I love that doily with the rosebud trim. And then again, and that goes in the back. Here's this tag. Lace, rosebud trim, and again, backed with some vintage ledger. I just have it secretly a little bit tucked in there, so it peekaboos out. And then here is another swap ephemera that I included in here. It's so cute. And it has some coffee stain paper. You can certainly journal in. And then it has a little tuck spot here with a few tags. You can certainly journal in the back. So stinking cute. And then I just tucked it along in there. antique ledger, vintage ledger, I should say, with a little lace cluster, rosebud trim. And then here, the back page, I have a little flip out. And I just tucked this on the inside as well. And it has vintage tickets. And then we have this lady here. She just tucks right in there. Isn't she darling? And that is journal number 2. And I love it. I'm going to quickly tie her up. So these will be listed in my Etsy shop for sale. If anyone is interested. And I also did make a post on Facebook and Instagram. I have, excuse me, some more journals that are looking for their forever happy home. And I hope you pay a visit and look through my YouTube channel and watch those videos. And I did manually adjust some prices on them. So they are forever looking for their happy home. So pay me a visit over at my Etsy shop. I'll post all my links down below in the description box. Until next time, much love and hugs, and hope to see you soon. Have a great day. Bye.